To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day. Yeah. Everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Like our perspective.
Well, hello and welcome everybody. I'm so glad you guys are all here. It is Monday. ChurchyAnity news is what we're going to get into today. I hope that everybody had a great morning and afternoon, and I hope that everyone that's here had the opportunity to join us this morning for our cafe, our coffee, and our jazz. We had a fun time cracking up, laughing at about a few things. And so I think I want to just get right into what we're going to talk about today. So on today's ChurchyAnity news, I want you to take a look at this because there's two things I want to take a glance at. The first one is that in India there have been over 50 churches that have had to stop holding their worship services after the authorities impose a ban on their Christian gatherings. So they cannot have their Christian gatherings. All right? Now, dozens of churches in India were not allowed to hold worship services for a third consecutive Sunday after authorities imposed a complete ban on Christian religious gatherings at the behest of the radical Hindu nationalist group, according to a report. More than 50 house churches in Jubawa district of Madhya Pradesh state were not allowed to gather for worship on Sunday due to the subdivisional officer issuing a circular to police stations in the Thandla and the Menangar blocks that declared a complete ban on Christian gatherings that do not have the permission from the local magistrate to actually convene. And so the U.S.-based persecution watchdog International Christian Church has reported. Now, the circular was distributed at the behest of the Vishwa Hindu Parashad, or the World Hindu Council. Let me see here. So it came onto the world, let's see. You guys, I was a little distracted there. So the circular was distributed at the behest of the Vishwa Hindu Parashad, which is the World Hindu Council, and other radical Hindu nationalist groups. The ICC said, quoting local churches, adding that Christians are concerned that they will no longer be allowed to exercise their religious freedoms and rights guaranteed to them by the India Constitution. Well, that may sound a lot like what is going on here, right? So it says, quote, I read the circular last Friday and decided not to worship on Sunday. That was by a local pastor, and he continued by saying, the last 5 months has been difficult. Our congregation has been reduced from 40 members down to 50 members. Whoa, that's a lot. That's a big, big number. So from 40 to 50 people, they have gone down, right? They've gone completely down. Hope you guys can hear me. Hello, Marty Lauderdale, Dan, Shram, and Sherry. Anybody want to let me know if I'm 5x5 or if I'm very low, because I'm playing with this machine again, okay? I should be louder now, I think. No, louder. There, I think I'm louder now. Hope I'm not too loud. But anyway, so listen. So basically what's going on here is the same thing that'll be going on here. Now, even though we don't profess to be quote-unquote Christians, right, because we believe in the true and living God, and we're pulling away from Rome, we are seeing that the religious convictions of people around the world is really what is under assault. When I was in the Christian church, we were told a lot of principles. These are one of the things that they showed you was one of the pillars of knowing that you were in the end times, that you weren't going to be able to have, quote, Christianity. Now, I think the reason why Christianity will be under assault is for a couple of reasons. Letter A, it is one of the Abrahamic type of belief systems. You know, the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Anybody that worships the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob would be somebody that they are going to assault. So let's look at this. I want you guys to check this out. Because in tandem with this happening, all right, them feeling like, hey, we've got the right to do X, Y, or Z. This last little piece I'm going to read for you is amazing because I want you to go into this next one. It says India ranks as the 10th worst country globally when it comes to Christian persecution, according to Open Doors USA. Whenever I see the word open, I always get concerned. Open Doors USA watch list. It's a world watch list. The United States Commission on International Religious Freedom has urged the United States Department to label India as a country of particular concern for engaging in or tolerating severe religious freedom violations. Listen, we have to keep our eye on India. We really do. America, as believers, follow India. Follow India. Do you remember the story we did about a week or two ago, and it dealt with the Indian, it's like an ID card, something like an ID card. Yeah, something like an ID card. I'm going to show you this next story because this right here blew my stack for ChurchyAnity news. This right here blew my stack. And then I got some funny for you too. Something funny for you. All right, so this is the controversy that has sparked. Church sparks controversy after holding inclusive joint birthday party celebration for Jesus and Muhammad. See how they snuck this in? Do you see how this was snuck in? Do you know what year the story was done? 2017. Hey, it's okay, lady. 2017. But you see how they snuck this in? Okay? A Church of England church in London has been criticized after holding a joint birthday celebration for Jesus and Muhammad in an effort to be inclusive. Remember, this was 2017. The Milad, Advent, and Christmas celebration took place on Sunday, that Sunday in that particular month, December of 2017, at All Saints Christian Church in Kingston upon Thames earlier this month. An Islamic prayer was recited and a birthday cake was cut during the long hour celebration, which was advertised as an event marking the birthday of the Prophet Muhammad and looking forward to the birthday of Jesus, closed quote. The church organized the event alongside the Kingston Interfaith Forum and the South London Interfaith Group. The notes come, notes the outlet. Prominent Christian blogger Archbishop Cranmer criticized the church for rejoicing in both. Utilizing, this is amazing. I'm laughing because America or the world, they're moving towards closing the gap for religious beliefs, and they're closing the gaps by making everyone inclusive. There is no way that you're going to have two totally just diametrically opposed belief systems work together unless it's for somebody else's greater good, the puppeteer in this case. Okay? All right? So now the prominent blogger Archbishop Cranmer criticized the church for rejoicing in both. And he also says that he questioned this sensitivity mission. All right? Every time a church accords Muhammad the epithet of prophet, they are rejecting the crucifixion, denying the resurrection of Christ, and repudiating that the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, for Muhammad denied all of these fundamental tenets of the Christian faith. That's what this report says. However, a spokesperson for the Diocese of the Southwark defended the event, saying that it enabled Christians and Muslims and others to meet together in order to promote better understanding and conversations and relationships. Now, I don't mind having a conversation with anybody of any other faith. You guys already know my background. You already know my history. You already know it. But I do think that blending the different belief systems together may not be good. But I don't want to tell you what I know about those two, Christianity and Islam. There's one thing they have in common. And as we begin to break down a lot more stuff, I think you'll understand why these two belief systems, believe it or not, was really not a problem with them believing together. I'm going to let that sit right there and let you do some research of your own. But he basically is saying that he understands what's going on, but he doesn't think that it's pretty good because they are diametrically opposed and they do not agree with the same exact things. All right? To have the reading from the Quran at that point was a fairly serious era for the Christians worshiping community, but to choose the reading they chose doubled the era. What reading? Let's go and find out. Every time the church accords Muhammad the epithet of prophet. Now, let me give you guys this. Whether you know it or not, Islam refers to Jesus as a prophet. But don't you know that while Christ walked the earth, he walked in the office of a prophet? In the office of a prophet. Just like the office of prophets that Ezekiel, Ezekiel was a prophet. How can you know all that and not be one? But then again, I digress. All right, so earlier this year, the passage from the Quran denying that Jesus is the Son of God was read during a service at St. Mary's Episcopal Cathedral in Glasgow, prompting one of the Queen's chaplains, Reverend Gavin Ashenden, to step down from his position. Because it says, quote, because I think it a higher and a more compelling duty to speak on behalf of the faith than to retain a public honor which precludes me doing so at this time. I resign my post. He explained. Good for him. To have a reading of the Quran at that point seemed unfair, and it was just seriously in error. The Christians worshiping probably didn't even know how to handle it. They probably just sat there, but if it was me, I probably would have got up and walked out. The problem with that is that when it happened, Glasgow was, although he was present at that moment, but he didn't know how to handle it. I would have known how to handle it. He was present, but he didn't know how to handle it. He waited till he was done to get up and go and talk about it. But there are ways that you have to know how to handle situations. There are ways that you have to know how to exclude yourself from the party. There are ways that you have to know how to do certain things. And you should be able to speak about the Mashiach to anybody at any time. Okay, as far as the Messiah is concerned, you should be able to speak about the Messiah any time. At any given moment, you should be able to do that. Now, this is from ABC News, and I want to give you guys a little bit of laughter. Okay, just want you guys to have a little bit of laughter right quick. Because don't you know that going to a church is not always easy? Sometimes you can't get a seat. Sometimes you can't get anybody to pay attention to you. Well, I'm going to put this on for you.
Oh my word! Oh my word! What is happening? That is a buck! No, don't go up there! Don't go up there! He went through the window in the auditorium.
Can you guys hear that?
Oh my goodness.
This buck has someplace to
In
go.
the hallway? Oh.
Can you hear him thumping around,
Yeah.
Sherry? And he went through the window.
Oh my word!
I had to
Oh,
see
my
this
word.
again.
What is happening? That is a buck! No, don't go up there! Don't go up there! He went through the window in the auditorium. Oh my
You see, just like us, he's searching for truth.
In the hallway? Oh. Yes!
I'm sorry. She's better than me, because there would have been no way that I could have sat in there like that. I just couldn't have done it. I could not have done it. I would have been running. I know me. I would have ran away because I would have been afeared. Those things are big and they can really, really get down. They can box you. They can hurt you. And then, they've been getting really, really vicious. Marty. I just thought that it was the cutest thing. I love animals. And so I just thought that it was the cutest thing. Today, you guys, is not a really good day. My dad is not doing so well. And I just got off the phone with my stepmom. And it's just been a really yucky morning after we had our great fun this morning. And then I had to talk about, putting my dad in a home or deciding that, who's going to go out there and try to stay with him, which he's not going to allow. He won't allow anybody to go and stay with him. No way. He's like, okay, get off the phone now. Whenever you're talking to him, he's very independent. And so, he's possibly not going to enjoy some of the rough decisions that I had to make today on his behalf. And it's just not good, but it is what it is. It is what it is. He's in his 80s, and so he's very, very independent. He does not want to do anything other than what he wants to do. That's that. That is that. So it's got me a little bit in a little cattywampus funk, just a little bitty one. And so that sort of made me feel good because I wanted to have something to laugh at. I really did. I do want to take a look, and I do want to make some very important points. Some of the things that we're seeing going on around the world as it relates to, and I have to use Christianity as a blanket statement, because if I don't, then it will get, I think that the story will get lost. I'm using Christianity as a point because we know that there will be persecution. And so when we start to see some of the stories that are taking place in like India and the next one that we're about to read in China, Christianity inflicting enormous harm on China, warns the Communist Party. Well, they said the same thing about the Falun Gong. And I don't understand that either, but after I studied a little bit more, I do. So I want us all to hone in on the fact that a lot of these stories are taking place. And because these stories are taking place, we really have to open up our eyes to them. As this persecution becomes greater and greater with our, I can't say our nemesis or our foes, or some of the other countries, well, just other countries, India, China, Australia, any of those types of places, because they sort of set precedents. Generally, they sort of set precedents for us. I want to read some comments before I go over to that. Let's just see. Yeah, you know what? I'm just a little bummed out, Marty and Sarah, because it's like he's just so independent and he's so hard-headed. He's so stubborn. He's like that buck that just hopped out that window. He wants to do things his way. He doesn't want anybody in the house with him. He doesn't. I mean, he even had somebody that was supposed to be coming to help him take care of the house, and he was like, okay, off with you. I don't like the way you clean the toilets. Beat it. So we have good afternoon there, Dan Schramm. Sherry be cool, hello. 5x5, 5x5. Sorry I'm back, I'm glad you're back. Dan Schramm, Marty Lauderdale. Be cool says, whoa. Everybody's loving on each other, I like it. Blessings, dear Felicia, disciple of the Messiah One. How are you? It's good to see you. Blessings, Sherry be cool. Oh, it's good to see you, he says. This is nice. I think this is so sweet. You guys know how I love when you love each other. Yes, Rome, Sherry, be cool. And you know what? Robert, I just got that message, and I'm going to have to talk to you offline about it. I'm totally confused. I didn't know that could even happen. But thank you for sending me that message. I like your thumbnail. I love that thumbnail, Sherry, be cool. The ocean just looks so beautiful. Yeah, that was funny, right, you guys? We needed a little bit of break, but Sarah said she knew that he was gonna do that, jump through the window. I've seen that happen a few times. I would love to be around where I used to stay. We used to have a lot of doe that would come out in the morning and be on your lawn and stuff like that, but not anymore. I live in a really big city. I live in a city. So sorry to hear that. Me too. Me too. I had one act like it was going to ram my car one time. I came around a curve slow, saw a big buck, was mesmerized by how huge. Then it put its head down and looked ready to charge me. I floored it. I know that you did. I would have took off too. Thank you, Sherry. Be cool. They get crazy during mating season. Yeah. Wild as a buck or buck wild. There you go. At least you take care of yourself and your family. We understand family first. Just throws me off a little bit. I'm sorry you're bummed, and I know how men can be when they don't want to need help, but they do. Well, listen, everybody's received the candy bar, and now everybody is going through physical things that you can't tell them about because nobody's going to listen, and it really wouldn't do any good anyway. But they're all having rapid stuff happen since they started at the top of the week, at the top of the year in my family. Yeah, it's like rapid, like things that we know about, and they're saying, gee, this is happening to thus and such, and that's happening to such and such. I wonder what it could be. The doctors don't know, and I'm just sitting there shaking my head. There's just nothing else you can say after you said what you said, and you protested much, and now you're dealing with these things. So no, he can't stay by himself. He needs to be in a home now. Hey, Sandy Aaron. Sandy, I'm going to turn your clips. I hope that's okay. Let me know if it's okay to send those. I think you said I could share them. To turn them into a really short video. I have to because it's just too funny. Because now I'm seeing people talking about, oh my goodness, the gas is so high. At least he didn't jump through the pews and swing from the chandelier. Yes, sir. But look at this right here. It says that Christianity is inflicting enormous harm on China. Boy, these cats right here. It says that a local government communications agency in China recently held a seminar to discuss with Communist Party members the enormous, quote, harm Christianity is to the atheist nation and identify ways to stunt its growth. According to Chinese Christian persecution watchdog China Aid, the event titled Christianity's Enormous Harm on China's Security was held on April the 22nd in the city of Hebei in China's Henan province. Okay? Now, according to the NGO, the seminar encouraged party members to avoid being persuaded by Christian ideology and to sustain, quote, correct views when it comes to religion. Quote, the Chinese government often views religions, including Christianity, as foreign attempts to undermine its rule, even though there were no evidential basis to make such a claim. China Aid reports, and they continue with, as a result, they often try to suppress religious adherents, and they openly forbid Communist Party members from practicing a religion, closed quote. The UCAnews.com reported that the Hebei Municipal Radio Administrative Bureau in Henan publicly admitted to the holding of a seminar on its WeChat page. They said, quote, It said the seminar was to help members correctly understand Christianity and prevent the occurrence of ideological divinations, closed quote. Now, this is what the outlet states. However, the WeChat message was deleted only 2 days after it was released. The Fenangang Yang, a professor of sociology at Purdue University's Centers for Religion and Christian Society, estimated in 2017 that there were anywhere from 93 million to 115 million Christians in a nation of over 1.3 billion people. The South China Morning Post says this report is available there. So if I click that button, that's where it's going to take us. But I ain't clicking it. Anyway, it goes on to say that it's estimated that China is on track to have the largest Christian population in the world by 2030. In the efforts to control the growth and the spread of Christianity, communist authorities have shut down a number of prominent house churches and arrested Christians and church leaders for worshiping without the approval of the government. It has also cracked down on the online sale of Bibles. The Bible is printed in China, but legally available at any church, but legally available only at church bookstores. So they print them and you can only get them at a church bookstore. Ying Fuk, the director of the Divinity School at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, told the UCAN News that the Hebei seminar reflects the Chinese government's increasing controls of ideology in China through the telecommunications and internet networks. Yang explained that China's Communist Party has intended in recent years to exhibit extensive social management through non-religious ways to deal with religious issues. OMG, this is how it's going to be here, because their exact same tactics on freedom of speech, their exact same tactics on the way that you can deal with social media and how they can, basically censor you with just because you said something. How you'll think you're typing and nobody but you can see it. How you think that you're actually involved in something and nobody's responding, but you haven't put two and two together that they don't want you to speak, and so they silence you. This is what they're doing, and I would like for them to just come out of the shadows and let us know that they're already running our country, because we all keep comparing this country to them. And with this particular administration and others like it, and other people like the one that's in there now, they pretty much handed over the country on a silver platter to all that would like to take a bite out of it. So from the Big Apple to the Golden State Bridge and every place in between that has actually sold themselves off to these cats, they need to, like they say in Texas, get a rope. That's what we need to do. Anyway, because this is headed. In light of these abuses, the United States Commission on International Religious Freedoms listed China as the country of particular concern for religious freedoms and violations in its 2019 annual report. Speaking at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention in April, the U.S. Ambassador at Large for the International Religious Freedom, Sam Brombach, identified China as a particularly oppressive, systemic persecutor of Christians. Now, they also were a very big persecutor of Muslims just recently, as well as the Falun Gong. And I studied up on the Falun Gong as an example to find out why they would have a problem with them. You guys look that up, and you'll find out why they literally had a problem with the Falun Gong. It has a lot to do with religious, things. But if you look at what the Falun Gong do, how healthy they become, because on the inside of their bodies, they're stronger. They don't have the health challenges or issues. They live a very, light and buoyant life. But there was a purpose for them bringing them under persecution. Anything that can enhance the life and take you off of being independent, they want you to get rid of. So Christianity, in this case, is one of those things. The Falun Gong is another. All right, so it also says that Christian communicators, he emphasized, play an important role in combating religious persecution and alerting the public of the sobering reality Christians around the world face every day. Quote, "We need a grassroots uprising saying, quote, no more religious persecution, no more." This is what Brombeck says. And it's through the reporting and the storytelling that you do of organizations like yours that can serve as a catalyst for advocacy. We need to keep our eyes on stuff like this, because the more that it begins to happen, the closer we know that it's coming here. They allow us to see this stuff so that they can open your eyes and say, all right, well, we warned you. We showed you that it was happening in other places. And we want it to be one world. And because of that, you need to keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Now, I intentionally read 2 stories that were dated a while back. Intentionally, because I wanted everybody to see exactly how far we've come in dealing with the stuff that we're dealing with right now. All right? Yep, because we need to look back so that we can look a little forward. Now, this, do you see this? The Earth will have Saturn-like rings made of space junk. That's what the scientists say. Ironic, we're going to be dealing with Thanksgiving at the end of this week and Saturn. Saturn-like rings. I hope that everybody has done their study on the pagan holiday Thanksgiving. If not, you can tune in tomorrow because we're going to be looking at the pagan holiday, where it came from. And boy, oh boy, they really duped me. All my favorite holidays that I had while I was in Christendom, I can't do anymore. I mean, I used to love Thanksgiving. I used to love Christmas. I'm glad that I'm free from those, but they really did have a way of fixing it up to make you think that you really had something going there. So I just want to see what this has to say. For the planet that struggles with pollution on land and in the water and in the air, Earth's orbit, too, is on track to become a junkyard of the solar system. The University of Utah researcher Jake Abbott said that the Earth is on course to having its own rings. Quote, "They'll just be made of space junk. That's all," he says. He's from Salt Lake City Tribune. Now, 4 of our solar neighbors, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus, boast some type of rings. The second of which is the most spectacular example of all. Of course, the signature broad rings adorning Saturn are made of ice and rock that have been locked in the planet's orbit. The same generally goes for the rest, with varying compositions of ice and cosmic dust. But not the Earth's. Ours is wholly human-made, from discontinued and damaged satellites, rockets, and other outer space collisions. Just garbage. Look at this. Just garbage. But that is pretty. Little speckles of trash. The little speckles of garbage. It does do a little something. It's like, I don't know, the earrings when you pair them with a beautiful, small, tiny black dress. You know, when we put on our one little cute black dress, that's what those look like. Little adorning, little earrings. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry. I'm being crazy. The Department of Defense, as well as NASA's Orbit Debris Program Office, keeps detailed records of the objects that circle the Earth. There is currently an estimated 23,000 pieces of orbital debris, NASA's terms for the Earth's highway of space trash, that are larger than a softball and up to hundreds of millions of more bits at smaller size at speeds of 17,500 miles per hour. Those larger chunks pose a serious threat to aerospace travel and research. Utah researchers are busy studying safe and economic ways to clean up our orbit. Abbott cautioned against the proposed methods designed to stop space junk in its tracks. Look at that. Look at all that water. Abbott says, quote, "Most of that junk is spinning. Reach out to stop it with a robotic arm and you'll break the arm and create more debris. Between 200 and 400 pieces are thought to fall back to Earth annually, although most of them burn up in the atmosphere before they can make an impact. But as the commercial space race ramps up, observers are sure to see more objects dotting the night sky and subsequently the potential for more junk." SpaceX founder Elon Musk, as well as Jeff Bezos from the Blue Origin, have each announced plans to launch tens of thousands of new satellites in the coming years. So why aren't they made responsible to make sure that that stuff's cleaned up? That's what I don't get. They're so rich. They want us to help with everything we take down. And so now y'all are jacking up a place that we don't even have any authority being in. But anyway, this is just last week, Russia's space agency shot down one of its inert satellites without a warning, exploding a nearly 2.5 ton satellite into bits and sending the crew on the International Space Station in a panic over the potential impact from its blast. The key to Abbott's research, published last month in the journal, in its magnetism, Quote, we've basically created the world's first tractor beam. We've basically created the world's first tractor beam. The mechanical engineering professor told Salt Lake City Tribune that it's a question of engineering now, building and launching it. So you just keep building more junk, sending it up to the sky. You just keep building more junk, sending it up there. Boy. Boy. I mean, I don't know what to think anymore. What is this? What is this guy here? Yeah, I don't know what to think anymore. I just think that it's really sad that this is all we're doing, is just making a mess of everything. And then we want the poor people to just stop. We just want the poor people to just stop. Tell the poor people that they don't need no gas. Tell the poor people. Now, I don't mean poor people. I mean, tell the poor people they don't need any gas. Tell the poor people they don't need to have any water. Tell the poor people that they don't need regular light bulbs. Tell the poor people that gas running their cars is not what they need. Tell them poor people that. You guys need to stop polluting the orbit. That's what y'all need to stop doing. Stop polluting orbit. Can I say that? Is that the right way? Yes, Fifi, you can share anything I send you. Okay, cool beans, because first off, that mask was a hoot. Second of all, what is this? Brooks had only recently been released on bond, where he is charged with resisting obstruction, reckless endangering safety, disorderly conduct, and bail jumping. Police have yet to publicly identify Brooks, who's seemingly an aspiring rapper on the rampage. Oh, child, I don't want to even see no more of this stuff. They let it fly this weekend. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to show that Sandy Aaron. I'm going to turn it into a YouTube short, and I'm going to put some nice, good music with it, because that right there is funny. Okay? He did that. It's like, I did that. That is so funny to me. I did that was a hoot. All right, Dan Schramm, tell the truth. It'll set you free. Trying to stop God. Good luck. Mars Fools go, hey, honey bunch, how you doing? Get a rope. You know what I'm trying to say. We really do. At dawn, some stuff needs to take place. At dawn. At dawn, get a rope. Okay? Yep. They forced all the churches in China to put cameras in to make sure that nothing unapproved gets preached. American pastors did it voluntarily. Schmucks. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the reason why we really do have to pay attention to what happened a couple of years ago out there, because once we do that, it'll actually tell us where we're headed and what exactly it is that's going on. Hope everybody's having a great day today. Didn't the day go by really fast? They want to Oregon. Yes, they do, Sandy. And they have. There was big campaigns going on about that to help assist them to stop that. I don't know if there was anything anybody could do. Sometimes I really don't like people. I want an island. Can't these governments just leave us alone? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Sherry? It's like they need to just go. Right, Marty? Yes, I know. And there's a couple of other places that are as well. But we need to keep our eyes open. Uranus, it's a planet, okay? Hello, Jacob. He is just too cute. Hey, Diane, how are you? How's it going? Notice my picture. The water is flat, not curved. I noticed that. Hi, Diane. Everybody saying hey. Okay, for show, for show. Saturn, always known as Kenyan Horus Refam, probably others I'm forgetting, sneaky Pete's trying to trick us into their mess. Yeah, there is a lot of stuff about it, and it's really a trip because there's a couple of goddesses that are attached to him, and they are all about harvest, and that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. They're all about harvest, they're all about grain, they're all about fruit and food and abundance, and yeah, so it's just important to understand the origin of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'll use a great example. One of our sisters in the chat made a delicious lamb, okay, and some delicious asparagus and new baby potatoes, and it was beautiful. And that was their supper, okay? Well, that's something that we thank y'all for, but we don't have to all do it on a set date, especially I'm using the example that they just ate their deliciousness. They ate some delicious food, just delicious bounty, being together, loving each other. These are the things that we are to do anyway. But the reason why I'm pointing at the Thursday deal is because of what it's steeped in. And man, I tell you, sometimes when you get to studying some of these holidays, it really makes your head hurt. It does when you find out how much they went through just to cajole us to do it. And then Mars Fool's Gold says, wondering if the firmament is real and this atmospheric junk coming back down at us. Good afternoon, Craig. William Craig. Hey. All right. Hello, Charlie. How are you? How you doing? Hello once again, everyone. Hello once again, everyone. I have a cool video saved on the firmament, blue ice. It doesn't melt, just disappears, and they bored a hole in it, and it regenerates. Wow. Thank you for that. Okay. Yeah, it is good to see him, right? All right, you guys, we're going to get on out of here because I need to call and make sure that these people, they're in California, that they've made the visit to my dad's house to check on him so we can get him someplace. I know he's not going to be very happy because he is a stern cat. Marty, yeah, you can probably find the video showing it. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go on ahead and get on off, but I just want to make sure that we connected today. We're going to be taking the next couple of days looking specifically at Thanksgiving, and I think that it's good that we do, that we see. I think it's good to just expose it all, pull the whole rubber, just take the whole Band-Aid off, just take the whole thing off. You know what I mean, Oz? You know what I mean? Just snatch it off. Snatch it off while we still can, and while we know what's real. That's what I think. I think we should, Oz. I really do. It's good to see you today again, Oz. Saw you earlier this morning. Okay? So you guys, just keep the old guy lifted up. Just keep thinking about him. Yes, please do, sister. Please. Because it's not going to be easy when he finds out what I've done. But I have to, because he's not in his right mind. He's just not. He doesn't have any more of his, any of his short-term memory. He's just living like on his long-term, old memories, like 70s, 80s. And he's telling everybody that's there, I'm not going to be put away anywhere. My house is just fine. I'm okay the way that I am. Meanwhile, he's still falling and he's still hurting himself. And I don't want anything to happen to him while he's there by himself and then something terrible happens and then I feel terribly, terribly bad about it, right? So that's why I'm like, well, okay, Reverend Lockhart, I'm going to have to go on ahead and make the executive move. And I don't want to, but I love him. And I don't want him out there by himself like that. Because now everybody's at home. Everybody at home is getting ill. Everybody at home is getting ill. They're not able to help him because they can't even help themselves. A lot of them have got, relatives are going through a lot of stuff. Mind you, everybody's had candy bars, at least 2, and are on to their 3rd one. So, yeah. All right, you guys. I love each and every one of you. You guys are my brothers and my sisters. And I love how you guys keep me lifted up and you keep interceding for me. And I'd like to let you know that I do the same for you. I want you all to remember one thing that we always say here on this channel, that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High Yah. You guys take care of yourselves. And please take care of one another. Until we see one another again, you guys continue to be blessed. Take care. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you